Okay, so in today's session, what we do is we'll try to discuss about the continuous topic of XML report. In this one, we'll discuss about data template approach using the GTT, Global Temporary Table logic. Nothing but like what we do is, so from the data template, we have the before report and after report kind of triggers. Using that particular triggers, and we'll try to populate the GTT, and based on that, we'll be displaying the data in the report. So this kind of approach is preferable when you have very complex data. Nothing but like when you can't build a single query where you require a complex SQL logic to be implemented. What we do is better we call the PL SQL. Design the query and all those things and upload the data into temporary table, and the data which is
Yeah.
available in the temporary table that will get displayed in the report. So the same logic
Yes.
can apply to a number of cases. Like generally, like maybe if you're aware, bill of materials
Mm.
report. So whenever you work in the BOM reports, what happens is like you need to display the hierarchy of your BOM. So for that one, what we
Yes.
generally do is we use the BOM API to populate the data in the GTT, and then later we just use the normal after report logic to display the data in the report. Okay, so let's discuss that. So now, okay, so what we do is like we'll just try to design a sales order report. Okay,
Okay.
using GTT
Mm.
approach. First thing what we require is data model, right? Nothing but SQL query.
Yes.
And next thing is template RTF. So now here we require some extra things here because we would like to design using a GTT approach. So now database, nothing but business logic level, what all we require? So we require a global temporary table, right? Global temporary table, and we require PL SQL API, nothing but spec and body, right?
Yes.
And any other file,
Yes.
these two things, right? So,
Yes.
so one X, this one is, yeah, anyways, leave it that. So first thing is like, what we can do is we can decide what is our query, nothing but the table. And once table is done, we can design the query and then the PL SQL API, right? Because generally when you
Yeah.
design it, either way, like the 1.1 or 1 can be done. It all depends upon how we design our what you say steps.
Yeah.
So our GTT depends upon what data you want to show in the output. Okay.
Yes.
So let me take this one, right? So this is my query. So I'll try to create this table.
Sorry.
In this one I have, okay, the basic sales order header line data. Yeah, this is already there, so we can just ignore this one. So this table, you can just see this one. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 columns we have. Just see the description. Header ID, order number, order date, and the remaining 3 columns are from the lines. 4 from the header
Yes.
and 3 from the lines. Okay. So now let's create a package. We just a very simple equi join with the header and lines.
Yes.
Okay. Now this is our package. This is my package body. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, let it be.
Mm.
Let me save here. Underscore spec. So in this one, if you observe in the specification, I have defined global parameters. So in this one, whenever you want to use the XML, whenever you want to use the triggers in the data template, what we have to do is we need to create
You
a
have to.
specification. We need to declare whatever the parameters which are there in our data template. Those particular things you need to define them as global parameters. Okay,
Okay.
then only it will work. So now here in my report, what is the expectation is that I will be selecting the organization ID as well as the header ID.
Yes.
Okay, so now compile.
Mm.
underscore body. Very simple logic. So based on the data which is provided, we just populating the data into the GTT. So I just defined a function called before report, and the return type of this function should be Boolean, because this
Hmm.
particular function will be calling our data model, data template.
Hmm.
Okay. Now here I'm just passing the two parameters, or get and header ID, and based on this, once I get the data, uploading the data into this temp table.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, very simple one. Now the next thing is designing of data model.
Hmm.
So I'll just ignore this and replace. Yeah, so I'll just save it. XXIF sales order report. Okay, underscore data model dot XML. Now I'll just save this one. Data template. Data template name is this one, and default package. So we just need to mention our package name. So package name is this one, right? Let it be. And then,
Debug mode is on.
sorry.
Debug mode is on, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, debug mode is on, and the parameters here. So here org ID and header ID. Here, if you observe, data type is character. So generally, number and character will not place an issue, but just follow the proper approach. Okay, the number ID, both data types are number, and the query just very simple one. Select start from the GTT. That's it. We are not passing any. There is no where, there is no need to have any where clause, because this session specific data. So at any point
Hmm.
of time, only that specific session data will be there here. And here, this is the place
Yes.
where we are calling our package. So after
Yes.
data query, in the data trigger, we just need to mention what is our package name dot function name. So this is my
Hmm.
package dot function name. Before report is my function name. This name is a trigger name. This name is a trigger name, and this is my function name. Generally, this function name we can have a different name also, but to just understand, we just mention the same name here. And the return type of this particular function should be Boolean.
So first before report is a trigger name, and second before report is a function name.
Yes, package name dot function, right? So after package, whatever you mentioned generally should be a method name, your procedure name
Function.
or a function name.
Yes. Yes. Correct. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay. Okay.
remaining is all similar. Only thing is, after this particular trigger, after your data model, we are just simply calling our data trigger. That is only extra thing. As well as the other thing is, in the default package, we have to mention the package name, because you are assigning global variable, right? So the system has your data XML engine has to know that, like in which package you are assigning global variables. That's the reason it will ask you the package name first.
Okay.
Okay. Now data model
Okay.
is done, SQL logic is done, right? So mostly our first
Hmm.
part is done. The business logic is part is done. Only the pending is RTF template logic. Okay. So let's wait for some time. What we do is, as of now, we can just go ahead with the registration process. So whenever you have any particular, what you say, complex logic or any performance related query, nothing but if your query is taking much amount of time, better you just go with this particular approach.
Okay.
Concurrent program, and here XDOD XML short name. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have two parameters. Your ID.
Hmm.
As of now, we'll just pass org ID only, but later we'll define the value set.
Yes.
Org ID, another one is header ID.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then assign the concurrent program.
To the yeah particular request group.
Okay, now the next step is we have to define the data model. As of now, we cannot define the template because using without having XML data, we cannot define. So time being, you can just define the data model. So if you don't define the data model, it will give a null pointer exception. I mean the concurrent program error. Create data definition. Now this short code should match with the concurrent program. This one, sorry. Application developer. So this short name has to match with our data definition short code. Okay, and this name can be anything. Application object library. And here just click on apply, and then later once it is saved, it will ask you to upload the data definition. Upload the data definition, nothing but data template. Click on add file, allows, and here select our data model.xml, dm.xml. Yeah, dm.xml
Yes.
file. Click on apply. Now template is not ready, so still we can run it. Let's see whether it will work or not. And only thing is we require is which particular parameter we have to pass a parameter, right? So we can just check out the existing data so that we can just pass the appropriate parameters. Yeah, I think we can pass this. Or get it 204 204, we can pass it. Yeah. Sales order XML. Yeah, or ID 204, and the other one is any header ID.
4101.
Okay.
And here we will be getting the XML data, right?
Yes, because we have not applied the template. We have to get XML data.
Yes.
In the output also, it has to provide XML, as well as in the diagnostic also, it has to provide XML.
Yes.
Okay, completed, normal. Click on view output. Yes, it is an XML data. Okay, it is not text data, it is XML data. And from diagnostics, yeah, in the diagnostic it is not providing. Actually, I was thinking it will provide, but it is not providing here. Okay,
Yeah.
so now what we can do, just click on file, save as. Okay,
Yeah.
sales order report underscore data XML. Okay,
XML data. Yeah.
yeah, now here,
We got it.
yeah, just open this notepad and check out whether it's correct or not. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, now
Yeah, it's
we can
correct.
just design our template. Now enable the macro. Okay, save as. RTF. Okay, now load the XML data.xml. Now insert the header, sales order report. Okay, add-ins, insert table or a form wizard. In this one, if you are like in this one, the expectation is that for a given header you'll have multiple lines, right? So we have to go with the table approach only. Okay,
Okay.
and we may require to design it as a group level report, because you don't want to repeat the header information multiple times, right? So we need to go with the
Yes.
grouping stuff. So here, as per
Yes.
this one, we just need to get out header ID, header ID, order number, and org ID into the top.
Yes.
So next, so grouping level, yeah. Anyway, first select all the parameters. Next, now group by, go with either header ID or order number, both will work. We'll go with our header ID.
Okay.
Next, I'll just ignore everything, or maybe you can sort by line number.
Yeah.
And finish. Right? So here, if you
Yes.
want to place order number outside, just cut it and just paste here, and you can just delete this F, sorry, cut it and place this one here, F, remove this column. That's it. In the same way, you can just remove the org ID also. Change the color. Okay. Add-in, preview, HTML. That's it. Okay. Now we can provide the label for this one. Actually, header ID is not required, but we can just ignore as of now. I'll just say sales order number. Okay. Like this, you can have it. That's it, right? So if you're in a given organization, if you have multiple numbers, generally this is how you get the report.
Yeah.
Now design the template.
Yes.
I mean, register the template.
So yeah. Shortcut.
RTF. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Now let's try to invoke. Yeah, if you try to see, this will not work. We cannot copy the request. So try to rerun the request. Now it has to load the template. It got loaded now. The template got loaded. Org ID
Yes.
204 as well as, and the number I'll just provide this time other one. Okay. View output.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be getting. Perfect.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines.
Yeah.
And now what we do is we can just create the value sets and try to display the appropriate stuff. So now for the value set, what we can do? So we need to display operating unit, right? So we have to select operating unit. HR operating
Yes.
units.
We can take as an order number also as a parameter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was asking that.
Sorry.
As a parameter, we are taking org ID and header ID. Instead of header ID, also we can take order number also, right?
Yes, we can take that. So the basic thing is what you want to. It all depends upon what value you want to pass to your query.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So based on that only you have to define your value set appropriately. Now in our case we need to pass org ID because I have not defined the value set yet. So that is the reason I'm passing org ID directly. Once you define the value set,
Yes.
what we can do, we can just pass the appropriate values. So now here
Yes.
what I will do is, let us say
We will create a value set.
application validation set. I'll just say OU, right? Table, and here
We're having one already value set on org ID. If you
yeah.
remember.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, we can take it. So organization ID and
Okay.
name, right? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So this is name.
And here ID as an organization ID.
Yeah.
Here organization as ID.
Okay.
That's it. We can give it a number. Yeah.
This should not be 10, right?
Yeah.
10 is very less.
Very less, yeah.
You can just go with this one. Name is 240 and ID generally 20 or something, 15 only. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is our value set, and the same way we can define our sales order value set.
Table. Yeah.
So
Here order management. Here OE headers, OE order headers all. Order headers all. That we will get first one. Yeah.
so value is
Oh.
order number, right?
Yeah.
Strange one. Yeah, order number.
Order number only. In meaning. Acha, okay, that okay. The size must be less than okay.
So we can again check this one.
Yes.
Let it be as of now. I'll change it one like
Order number will be number, right? The order type.
yeah, order number is the varchar, isn't it?
It's a char. That's what I'm telling.
Yeah, char.
Yeah.
I'm just checking about the size. Generally,
Yes.
yeah, in this one you'll have a lot number of columns, so very difficult to search. 217 columns. Varchar 150.
150.
The size entered must be less than or equal to the database column width. How come? Very strange. Okay, let it be. Okay, why it is not selecting? Let me try again.
In meaning and ID, order number is there.
Hmm.
In value, in meaning, order number is there. If you enter, order number will be there.
But why it is not coming in the value? Sorry.
Just order. See, order number is there.
Order
Order
number. Yeah, how come 22 here? But database size, can you see?
150. Yeah, even I checked this one yesterday only.
Okay.
Here also order number will be coming.
Okay. कुछ तो रहता है. Okay, it got changed anyway. So order number, header ID, right? Yeah, and what we have to do? Where and org ID is equal to, right? Org ID is equal to colon dollar flex dollar
flex dollar dot our if underscore OU. Test it.
Okay.
Copy this one in our notepad.
Yeah. So these are the two values that we have to define.
Yes.
Now go to concurrent program. Concurrent program. Now change the value set. P org ID. Okay, make it required.
Yes.
And here also we'll just say select org. You can just select org. That's it. Org. Because anyway, business user doesn't know what is ID and number. Just mention the appropriate, easier understanding. Select sales order. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
It all depends anyway. They'll provide you what description they want to provide generally. Okay.
Yes.
No, rerun it. Now in this case we have change value set, right? If you again copy from the existing request, it may not work. Can you see?
Yes, it will not working.
Okay. So generally whenever you change value set, and one more thing. Now let us say we have modified. Assume that if we have changed
Hmm.
some condition in the existing value set, so always
Hmm.
close this particular what you say forms and again
Hmm.
reopen it. The value sets will not
Acha.
get reloaded. This is one of the bigger issue you will face across. So
Oh,
whenever you
oh,
change,
don't know.
whenever you change value set, or let us say in my case, what I have done is like I used to use the this one special value set. So
Okay.
generally when you work with a special value set, you will come across a lot number of issues. So until unless I
Yeah.
restart this one, until unless I close this browser and reopen it, it will not work. So
Oh, special value set.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
No, we got it.
This
Yes,
one
not
maybe
depend.
I don't know what is the name these guys would have mentioned, but O1 or Vision Operations. Okay, let me check here.
Q1.
Q1, right?
Yes, Q1.
Wait. No, name is name. That was code. I mean,
Yeah, that was code. Yeah, organization code that was.
I think this should be same. Yeah, Vision Operations.
In
Yeah,
operations only. Yeah.
short code is VO. Vision Operations. Okay, Value
It is
Vision
longer than this.
Operations. What did we define in there?
We have defined 240, but
Yeah,
in
maybe that.
maximum size when we are writing, no 10 we have mentioned over there. Once open the value size.
Maybe we have to redefine them. Other
See,
problem is the value set is you cannot change it.
here maximum size we have mentioned 10.
Okay,
Here we have to.
240.
Now it will be working. And we were changing for order number also, no? We have mentioned 10 only. That's why it's not capturing over there 150.
Can you see now? Still, it is giving Vision Operations.
I think we have to close the form and we have to open again.
Yeah, I think so. Let me re-verify whether it got saved or not. Then we can restart the this one.
Okay.
Validation set. So you 240.
Hmm.
Here also
Perfect.
240. Okay. So everything got changed, but
Oh,
only thing is it is not getting reflected, right? Okay. And one more thing, don't close the browser directly. When you close this particular one directly, sorry, here it is okay, but generally like what is the expectation that we just close the browser directly, something like that, right? Or maybe this particular
oh,
screen directly. We should not close that way
yes.
because the reason is it will not clear the runtime environment until unless you close this way. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So in general, what happens in real-time situation, let us say there are 1,000 users and if 500 users have closed the browser in the same manner, what happens is it will get the unnecessary memory will get piled up. So it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yes.
some smaller issues doesn't seem meaningful, but that is what that those particular things will make a major chaos. Yeah. Now can you see?
Yes.
So
Sales order number.
yeah, now we can just select any sales order number, submit. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm. But parameters it's coming. One is on an org ID, another one is a header ID, right?
Yeah, that's what we want to pass.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
The user has to select order number, but backend we will be getting header ID.
Hmm.
Yes.
So it all depends upon how you design your query, okay? So there is no ideal
Yes.
scenario, ideal solution. It all depends upon how do you want to pass it.
Yeah, we got the value.
Okay.
Yeah. Order number.
And
Yeah,
here
one
can you
more.
see it is showing the format like this, right? Order date. So what you can do, like it all depends upon the requirement. Generally this is not accepted format. No business user like this. So
Yes.
somewhere you'll in the template you'll find that order date, and here it will ask instead of type as text, just change it to date, and now here you can just select what date format you want to have it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
you can try this one of them. If none of the format is there here, what you can do is from the database side, just use the 2_char and format it appropriately.
So 2_char we have to use, right?
Yeah, that's the best thing. Let us say now here, assume that what are the format which I want, none of them is here. None of them is here. What I will do is, so I'll just go to my data model, right? And where
Hmm.
is my date? Order date. So 2_char. Okay. I'll
Yeah.
just say I don't want to display the total stuff. I just want to display only date and month.
Date and month. Okay.
Right?
DDMMON. Yeah.
I'll just go with this one.
Yes.
And now here what
Yeah.
I do, it's a regular text. No need to change anything in the template level. It's a regular text.
Yes.
What need to be changed? Only the data model.
Yeah. Data model we need to change.
So
We
there
have
is
to
no
upload
other,
again.
do you think there is any other place we have to change the data types?
No.
No PL
Only
SQL
data.
issue,
We
right?
have,
No database level
no. No.
change, no PL SQL level change, right? Yeah.
No. No.
Okay. It says no font. Maybe it is data case sensitive. It's taking case sensitive. Right. Upload file, data model.
Done successfully.
Right.
Yeah. We got it.
Date and month.
Month
So
and date and month itself. Yeah.
yeah. So formatting we have to be very much careful. Like and one more thing, when you have numbers, when you have dates, you'll have larger number of issues. I mean to say date is again one of the bigger issue you'll come across always. You always need to know what format you want to show.
Yeah.
And numbers also, some users want to have a dot, what you say, the fractional part, and some users doesn't want the fractional part. So we just need to consider that also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now one more important thing I just want to tell you. Now let us say you're working on this report and assume
Hmm.
that whatever you're getting in the output is not according to the thing what you require, right? Somewhere some mistake is happening, but you know what you want to do is you want to validate validate the business logic what you have done. So every time you cannot run the report and check it out, right? It's
Yeah.
very difficult. Now it's very small data, it's very easy to validate in our case, but generally what happens is it's not that much easy. So now, and you don't want to run the report every time and change the parameters, very difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'll
Yeah.
try to tell you the debugging procedure. Like assume that now you just got an issue in your report and you want to validate what data is available in your GTT is correct or not. Because here sometimes what
Okay.
happens is, see, before validating your output, I mean to say, let us say you got to know that there is some mistake in your PDF output, okay, and you want to know what
Hmm.
actually is available in the GTT, so that we can, we just want to validate whether what is available in GTT is correct or not. If it is not correct, you want to change your PLC code logic, something like that. Okay. So now
Yes.
from this database, how can you upload the data into your PLC code? I mean to say your GTT, right? So let me show you that.
Hmm.
Invoke, yeah, PLC call API. I'll just say like this. Now what we do is using anonymous block logic, I declare begin end.
And yeah.
Now here we just require two parameters, local variable underscore org underscore ID number, local variable header ID number. And now we want to call our PLC call API. Okay, now just observe that before calling the API, you can also observe what is available in our GTT. So there is no data, right? There is no data in the GTT.
Yes.
Now this is my package. If you have global variables, if you want to call your this one, you just need to make sure that you need to assign the values for the global variables first. Org ID is equal to L underscore org ID. First of all, assign the values for local variables. Org ID 204. Assign some value here. right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Header ready. Yeah. Header ready.
So we are just assigning the values to the global variables, and then after that call the trigger L underscore trigger, or maybe I'll just say L boolean. Now you need to call the trigger. L boolean is equal to your API name dot method name.
Yeah.
What's the method name?
Before
report.
report.
That's it.
Oh.
So this is what we have to do it. Don't forget to assign the values for global variables. If you don't assign, simply will not get any data.
If we without GTT approach also we can we can do this method, right?
Yes, you can see. Why are we going with GTT? Because what? Why?
Hmm.
Why are we going with GTT? If you use a
The
normal
complex
table,
queries.
table in this scenario, what will happen?
It will saved permanently.
It will save permanently. And let us say
Yeah.
let us assume that 10 o'clock you ran the report, and 10:05 I'm running the
Yeah.
report. What will happen? Your data and my data will come into single report, right? That is what we don't want, that thing, right?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
That is the reason we are using GTT, so that it will be session active. And why we are going with GTT? Because if in a particular case where a single query is not enough to design our report, or maybe because
Hmm.
of the complexity of the logic, I'll tell you some table. Just see how huge the data will be, and you'll just understand that.
Hmm.
Check these tables: GL
Okay.
balances,
Okay.
MTL material transactions,
Hmm.
and any other table. Yeah, these are two tables which generally will have huge data, and we can just check out the bomb explosion.
Hmm. I'll
Okay.
do.
And I'm not getting, but these are things which will have huge data.
Okay.
Okay. Now, yeah. Now we ran the API, right? Did we run it or
No. No.
no? Okay. Yeah. Now check the data in that
No.
GTT, right? 5 lines.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now we can validate. Generally, this is the first thing you have to do it before designing our total template. We should have done this one,
Okay.
because unless your data is correct, what is the need of designing a report, isn't it?
Yes.
If it's a complex report, generally what we do is don't concentrate on the layout at all. Don't concentrate on the layout
Okay.
first. Concentrate on your business logic, because
Yes.
designing a layout
5.
RTF is very easy,
Yes.
right? In some scenarios, of course, the template is also very complex.
Hmm.
Okay.
Here we are getting duplicate data, right?
Can you see the line numbers?
Yes. 1 to 3 are sound different.
These are getting repeated. This is header ID stuff, right? Header data.
Header ID order number and header ID is
Yeah.
same, and order
Yeah.
quantity is 3 are same.
No, just see the line number.
Yeah. Unique. Yeah.
Line number quantity is the same, but just see the line number. So yeah, this is what you
We
have to
can
find
do.
out, right? Generally, like this is what like let us assume that there is some issue in your query, and in the output you're not
Hmm.
getting the proper data. So what is the first thing you have to validate? First of all, validate your GTT data. Whatever is available in
Hmm.
GTT, that will get displayed in the report. So that is the reason what we have to do is always validate your business logic, then validate your output.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, so tomorrow what we do is we'll work on the bomb explosion. Okay, and what we do is we'll also
Hmm.
discuss about a particular template approach called pivot table approach. Pivot table.
Okay.
So did we discuss the what you say grouping report in this one? We discussed, right? XML Publisher.
Grouping. No.
No, group by we did no. No,
No.
this is also group by report, right?
Yeah. Here in RTF we have been mentioned. In XML we have not mentioned, like in query.
Okay. That we'll discuss. That also we'll discuss. But what we do is tomorrow we'll discuss about bomb explosion using pivot table approach. So why we generally go
Okay.
with the pivot table? Because okay, I'll just tell you one scenario. Assume
Mm-hmm.
that you have your inventory data. Okay.
Hmm.
So in the inventory, the first top level stuff is your inventory org, right? And
Yes.
the locator. Assume that locator is also there. And now
Hmm.
there is something called transactional date. Okay.
Okay.
So now the requirement is So they want to display data like this, inventory org, okay, and so inventory org, what we do is, let us say 100, 200. Now, so in each inventory org, I may have a number of locators. Locator 1, locator 2, locator 3. Now for each locator, L1 or something, whatever it is, L1 I need to display the quantity, L2 I need to display the quantity,
Yes.
L3 I want to display the quantity. Okay, this is one
Yeah.
scenario. I'll tell you one more scenario also now. Inventory org is there, or maybe let us say I'll just try to use the BOM stuff. So BOM is nothing but just consider item number. I have an item number, okay,
Okay.
item number, and then year. This is transactional data, okay, and year and month. Okay, now the basic thing is if you are running the report for multiple years, then it will very complex. If it's just a single month, if in a given month, or let us say if it is a single year, what happens is you need to display item number, nothing but item number is 100, and the count in a particular month is something like this, 1000 or something. It's very easy.
Okay.
So one more important thing is here the number of months is not restricted, right? It's a dynamic columns. The number of months is
Yes.
not restricted here. It's a dynamic generation of your columns.
Yes.
Okay, so that is what, like generally if you observe this particular approach, in this one you are grouping only at one level, isn't it?
Yeah.
And other thing is there is no
Yes.
dynamic column stuff here. There's no dynamic column generation. But here in this case, in this kind of reports, the pivot table or maybe the columnar generation reports, what we do is we generally generate the columns at runtime. So we'll try to work on both the things. Okay, dynamic column as well as the pivot table.
Yes.
Okay, so what we do is, first of all we'll try to understand the dynamic column, and then we'll go with the pivot table. Okay, dynamic column generation.
Oh,
So in the dynamic column
yes.
stuff is there is no restriction to the number of columns. In a very simple example, I can
Okay.
tell you is, let us say, assume that we have a EMP table, okay, and the requirement is for a given job, and for a given department, you want to show the number of employees.
Okay.
Okay, now let us say you have a job engineering. Okay, now and this is my department 10, department 20, department 30, department 40 and 50, so forth.
Okay.
Now engineering for the engineering job, in the department 10 there are only one employee and the remaining are 0. And assume that there is another job called IT, and in which the department 20 they have 90 employees. Okay, another thing is marketing job, and the number of employees in a department 60 is 25. So this is the kind of report we want to display,
Okay.
right? Because
Yeah.
now there is no restriction to the number of jobs, and there is no restriction to the number of departments, right? In real time, that is what happens. There is no
Yeah.
you can't just hard code your departments at all.
Yes. Yes.
So
Dynamics.
that's a generally we call it as columnar reports.
Okay.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss about columnar reports first, and then pivot table, and later we'll work on the Excel report. There's a one more thing I forgot to tell you. So as of now we know RTF, other one is XSL, and the other one is Excel sheet, XLS.
Okay. Okay.
There are reports called Excel sheet reports also. If you see here in the template, observe here. The number of template types are a large number, but we don't discuss all those things. The topmost one is RTF, other one is this one, Microsoft Excel, other one is XSLFO. These three things
Acha,
will be discussed.
XSL.
Yeah, XSLFO.
Okay.
These three things will be discussed.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
E-text also can go across. Generally, e-text is also one of the mostly used report, but generally in the banking reports.
Okay.
In the bank reports, they prefer to use the e-text reports.
E-text outbound or inbound, both, right?
Yes, both.
Okay, we will go.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I was asking you about tax rate. I didn't get that one.
Oh, I forgot. I'll check it today.
Sure, sure, definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was nice session today.
Yeah, sure. Will tomorrow the session, the coming what days will be very much complex also, and very much
Yeah, and
useful also. See, this one, like it generally takes much amount of time to understand these things.
yeah,
This
and
dynamic
before
column, pivot tables are, yeah.
I should go about the bomb. Anything like functionalities? What the bomb actually? What bomb does?
Yeah,
Everything.
if you are not aware of the inventory, just understand what is item, inventory org, locators, and
Hmm.
bomb. What is bomb, sub-assembly, explosion, these all things. Just try to understand the basic concept.
Definitely. I'll try to understand that one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.